Hello and welcome to another episode of the Rebel Creatives podcast. I am your host, Delano Wallace, and it is my mission to help fellow business owners and entrepreneurs to achieve financial impact and time freedom so they can do more of what they love and have a more fulfilling life. All right. And that's the purpose of this podcast. And in this episode, to achieve that goal, I want to talk about how you can have a strong online presence and why it is necessary. And it's not just an advantage, right? And I want to guide you through the tools and techniques that you will need to maximize your online presence. And this will ensure that your brand stands out in a crowded marketplace and drives real financial results. All right. Now, all of this matters because when you're able to master the art of online presence, it will help you to really reach your business goals, have bigger impact, and overall feel more fulfilled in your business and life, right? It's just like that. Every business is out there to serve and to, solve a problem. And if you're doing your marketing or taking care of your online presence, you're just going to be seen more. People will be able to find you more, and you'll be able to do what it is that you're called to do much more. All right. And everything has its benefits, especially when it comes to business. So you want to make sure that you have a well curated digital footprint that can lead to increased brand recognition, stronger customer relationships, and ultimately higher revenue. All right. And when your online presence is optimized, you're not just reaching more people, right? You're connecting with your best audience, right, in a meaningful way. And it turns all of those persons into loyal customers because everything that you're doing resonates with them on a deeper level. It's not just come, I'll take your money. It's more of a, hey, this is who we are and this is why we do what we do. All right. And even though all of this might sound, good and easy, there are challenges. There are things, barriers that cause a lot of business owners to struggle when it comes to making their online presence work for them. All right, and this is what I think is very crucial when you build your online presence. Yes, you build it, but you have to maintain it, and you want to make sure that you're leveraging it to reach your goals, right? So since the digital landscape is so, ever changing and vast, right? One day you're doing one thing, the next day they come up with something new you have to adopt, right? So it's very, you know you need to be dynamic, you need to be proactive, and you need to be able to adapt to changes that happen. And that's one of the biggest challenge, but there are more, right? For example, you have countless digital tools available that you have to figure out which one will work for you and which one is worth your time and investment. You have a situation where, because many businesses fail to represent or present a consistent brand image across all the platforms that are out there, it leads to confusion among potential customers. And because of all of that, it's due to that inconsistent branding. And then simply having an online presence isn't enough, right? Because again, as I said before, without active engagement, without you managing it, without you actually doing things to leverage it, your audience may quickly lose interest. And then continuously, putting out the same thing over and over again. You want to make sure that you're producing fresh, relevant content all the time, and it can be exhausting for business owners to be coming up with all of these content that they have to put out and all of those things, right? And then lastly, SEO complexities. It's simple as that. We as business owners, not everyone is all about, all the technical things about marketing or setting up an online presence. So trying to understand and implement effective SEO strategies can be intimidating. And when you have poor SEO practices, it just leads to all of your hard work not being seen. All right. So the good news is in this episode, right, I want to address some of the tools, some techniques that you can use to overcome these challenges and create an online presence that not only draws people in, but also drives your business goals forward. All right. So the first thing you want to do is make sure that you're choosing the right tools for your needs, right? And this is why before I even take on a new client, I make sure I understand what it is that they want to do, right? Or what it is that they need to achieve and what they have used before and how it is. Because at the end of the day, if you do not use the right tools, you're just wasting resources, time, all of those things. Whatever you use must match your goal, right? So, for example, a simple example: if your goal is to dig holes, right? Don't use a hammer, right? That wouldn't make any sense, and it's just not the right tool for the job. Or you might use a different type of shovel, but the shovel that you're using is just too small. It's going to take you forever for you to dig the size hole that you want. Like if you just need a tiny hole, no problem, right? You can even use a spoon. You don't need a shovel at that point. But if you want to dig a hole that's deep, that's wide, that's structurally sound, then you might need the tool that will help you to achieve that. And it's the same thing with business, right? You need to make sure that the goals or the needs that you have for your business are being supported by the right tools, all right? And I just want to give a quick example, like a small business that use Hootsuite, right, to manage its social media presence will see an increase in engagement and all of those things, simply by being consistent and strategic with their postings, right? Now, that's them using a tool to do all of those postings for them. The other way to do all of that is them manually sitting down and posting that same content, creating and then posting it on those different channels, taking up their time, getting them to be fatigued with the content, all of those things, right? But using a tool, you now can sit down one session and now you have everything scheduled out for multiple platforms. And that tool right there will help that business if what they want to do is just to have a good social media presence, right? Now, a common mistake here is people tend to now choose too many tools or overly complex ones that just don't actually suit your needs, right? You want to dig a hole, you instead of you getting a nice simple tool that can do the job, you get a jackhammer, and now you have more issues than what you even signed up for, right? It leads to wasted time and resources, right? So to avoid this, really just make sure that you know the goals that you have for your business and really look at the tools that you can consider and see which one of them will truly support the goals that you have for your business the best way. All right. And with that being said, the next issue is maintaining, or the next step or guide is to make sure that you're maintaining consistent branding across all platforms. All right, it should be instantly recognizable, whether a potential customer is on your website, to your Facebook page, or reading an email, right? You want to make everything consistent. And when you do this, it makes your brand more memorable. All right. Um, for example, a local cafe, right? They ensured that their logo, color scheme, and the tone of voice were consistent across its website, social media, and in store materials, right? And this helped create a cohesive brand identity that customers connected with, leading to a 20% increase in returning customers. All right. A mistake here is that if you're inconsistent with your branding, so you're using different logos, different colors, your messaging varies on different platforms, this inconsistency can confuse potential customers and weaken your brand identity. All right. And you want to make sure that you create a brand style guide, right? That includes guidelines on how to use your logo, what colors are included in your color schemes, and how to use it, the fonts, your messaging, and you want to refer to this guide whenever you're developing new content or materials to ensure consistency. All right, so that's one thing. It's like you do it one time, then you're done, and you have no reference you can always go back to, right? Another thing when it comes to online presence is engaging with your audience regularly. And I know this is something that can be very time consuming because, especially if you're in a business where you're wearing all the hats, right? It's just you, and you have to do pretty much everything, and now you have to engage with your audience, and it's very important because it is the key to building a loyal online community. All right, so you want to make sure that you're responding to comments, you're sharing user generated content, right? And just to give an example of user generated content, these are like your testimonials or your reviews, right? Anything that people are saying, your case studies. You want to also run interactive campaigns like polls or Q&A sessions. This is like vital when it comes to you gathering zero party data, but more importantly, getting to understand what it is your audience want, what they think about you, how can you improve to serve them better. Because I like to say the more you know about your audience, is the better you're going to be able to serve them. All right. And just to even throw it out there, you try to know as much as you can. And even if what they need isn't in your skill set, the fact that you know it, you can research and find out the best solution for them and refer that solution to them. Even if you're not getting paid for it, guess what? These are people who are in your circle. They're actually maybe even customers of you, and they have a problem, and you help them solve that problem. You already get a leg up right there. So anytime you have anything that they need, you're the first person they're going to come to because you are known to solve their problems and make their lives better. All right. So that is why engaging with your audience is very important, especially if you're able or willing to do polls and surveys and stuff like that. All right. And if you do not right post content without engaging with your audience, it turns your online presence into a one-way street, right? Missing out on valuable connections that drive uh, loyalty and resales. All right, because if you're not engaging, you get forgotten. Is as simple as that. All right. So you want to make sure that you allocate time daily to interact with your audience. You want to maybe use some tools that will help you to know or get notified whenever anyone reaches out, so that you can promptly, you know, get in touch with them and give feedback, so that you're developing an online presence that is a two-way street instead of a one-way street. All right. And last but not least, you want to make sure that you optimize your content for SEO, right? And SEO is crucial for ensuring your content reaches your target audience. You want to focus on keywords that align with your audience's search intent, right? And you want to optimize your metadata and ensure your website is mobile friendly. And this is where we come in, especially over at Publishing Rebel, because what we do is we don't only help you to build your online presence, we help you to build it, we help you to maintain it, and we make sure that it is being leveraged to reach your business goals, whatever that is, right? And for us, we look at fit freedom, those big three goals. So if it is that you want to reach a certain financial goal, if it is that you want to just have a certain level of impact through your business on the lives of the people in your community, the people that you serve, the people that you employ, right? That's how we look at impact. And if you want to just have more time, right, to do what you love, whether it is to use more of your time to provide the service or the value that your business does, or even to have more time to do what you value with your family, we want to help you to make all of that possible, right? And how we do this is we make sure that we don't only help you to build that online presence, but create content that are SEO optimized to pull people in and help you to build your authority, build trust, and increase your visibility so you can over time gain financial impact and time freedom, fit freedom, as it were. All right. I want to give you an example here of a retail store that implemented a basic SEO strategy, and they saw a 50% increase in organic traffic within 6 months, right? Resulting in higher sales during peak seasons. All right. So, with that being said, you don't want to sleep on this aspect of your business. And if you are a business owner, that's, whether you're established, you've been around for years, you know your thing, or you're very new and you're just doing the most important, the high impact stuff, but you haven't really done anything when it comes to your online presence. I would like to invite you to take us up on our, 100K mission to build 100,000 websites for absolutely free. All right. And the whole idea behind all of this is we wanted to make sure that having a online presence that is professional and that is working for you to be accessible. You go out, you say, hey, I want an awesome website. They say, all right, it will be a couple $1,000s. You pay that. And what typically happens is that they disappear. You have this website now, you are the one managing it, you're paying for hosting, but that's it. We wanted to do something different. We wanted to allow people, no matter what stage they're at, to have an online presence that speaks to their audience and is functional to get them results without having to spend, tens and thousands of dollars to get that done. And then be there to support you every step of the way so that your website is not just built or your online presence is not just built, but it is being maintained and it's being leveraged for the best results possible. Because if you can have a great online presence, you will get to reach your business goals faster over time, right? So at the end of the day, if this is something that you'd like to do, right, you can just visit my website at delano.therebel.me, right? Just go there and you will see how you can get in touch with me and work with me and see all of my free value there. There's nothing there to sell, but there's a lot of free stuff to get. All right. So go there, get some value. And that's how I start the process is just let's have a conversation. Let me get to know more about you, your goals, where you want to be, and then we can see how best we can help you. All right. And if we can't, we will know somebody who can. Right? So that's how it is. And you want to make sure that you follow all of these steps, right? You avoid the common pitfalls, and if you do all of this, you can build a strong, cohesive, and effective online presence that resonates with your target audience, but at the same time resonates with your business goals. All right, you want to have the right tools and techniques, and you want to make sure that you simplify your entire process and ensure that your efforts lead to tangible business results. All right. And that's where you want to make sure you have a clear goal. Right? So start today and watch your online presence transform your business's trajectory. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to this podcast episode. Again, if you want to reach out directly to me, just visit delano.therebel.me and you will, get in touch with me, even start a live chat and we can talk as long as I'm available. I am currently on vacation, but definitely still accessible to some extent. I will be more accessible directly, you know, next month in September. But feel free to go through my free content. Feel free to go through my process of getting to work with me and seeing how I can help you to reach your financial impact and time goals for your business and your personal life. All right. This is Delano signing out and see you in the next episode.